Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Cool. Okay, it's working. It's been so long since I worked on this. Had lots of other stuff to do. Um, Climbing system. Yes. Let's see where I got up to. So have some rotation of the character. Okay. It seems to know where the closest thing is. That's good. I'm guessing if I press E, it connects. And if I go right, left, okay, that's good. Yeah, all right. I think that's actually working quite well. Ah, now that's interesting. Let me just check what happened. Oh, I see. So this corner one is on the side, so it does make sense. Although it's rotated the wrong way. Uh, yes, okay. So the rotation's wrong, and if I press E, I disconnect. Okay, and then I'm back to normal. So I think yeah, that rotation's wrong. So let's start there. Um, I apologize for the screen size, but I it's really hard to work on the 1920 by 1080. It's surprising that YouTube doesn't allow me to stream in a wider format, so I'm sorry. I actually don't know how to do it. It's very strange that I can't do it. So, well, I need to remind myself of how this all works. So it looks like we have a plugin, and that plugin, let's see, zoom out a little bit. What is that plugin doing? There's a climbing system actor component, and what we've got here, we've got um, reach out to climbing hold. Signal that character should move to climbing hold. Okay. And then attach to climbing hold. Alright, so this sounds like the place where I need to be. And then if close by distal climbing hold actor. And if move to climbing hold curve. Ah, I see. So I guess the curve is the Unreal Engine thing, right? So if I go into the climbing system here, blueprints maybe, no. Maybe it's in the plugin itself. Content, here we go. Curves, yeah. Move to climbing hold actor. Um, Maybe you should call that something else actually. Move to climbing hold. And there's a curve for the how the motion should go. Okay, that's good. And then so let's see what happens. It sets the target to the close by hold, which makes sense because I'm attaching to it, so now my target is that. Then I attach the character. So the climbing hold actor itself has an attach to character function. There it is. And all that does is it says currently attached to. Okay. And then it says the close by actor is now null because we're no longer close to something. I guess we're actually on something. That makes sense. And we want to recalculate now what I'm close to. Um, then it gets a time range from the curve. And then it says the time range of curve is the end time minus the start time. Okay. Is there not a get length or something? Surely there's a get length. Right, well, fine. Um, and then it says that the progress along that curve is 0. Okay. And then, to do. Okay. So it's really cold in here. 1 second. Need to go turn the heating up. Bear with. Heating, heating, heating. Okay, cool. Um, so we get the actor forward vector of the climbing hold actor. So that's interesting. Okay. So maybe there's something around that, and then we go and get the forward actor of the forward vector of the character. Okay. And then we do a dot product between the target hold and the character's forward vector. Okay. Then we get the magnitude of vector, which seems a little pointless. We're getting the magnitude of the climbing hold, which I guess in this case is probably always going to be 1. Uh, or maybe even 0. I don't think there is any length to these things, so that might be where it's going wrong, right? Let me go and hook onto one of these. So I'm guessing the magnitude is, so look, our survey says, oh, it seems to have optimized even though optimization's off. Oh no, it hasn't. Okay, that's weird. Took a little while to respond. Oh, so okay, so it is 1 at least. Um, so it's a little pointless, isn't it, to get the magnitude of both of these, because you know it's going to be 1 for each. Um, and then the angle is the cosine of the dot product divided by both magnitudes multiplied together. And then this gives us an angle. And then we add that to the player's local rotation. Yeah, something seems quite wrong with that. Um, and I think I've said this before, but I remember now in the last video, I'm so sorry I'm yawning. If I go to my whiteboard, gosh, I wonder what's going to come up here. Okay, not bad. Not bad. So if I'm thinking of um, let's go side view. So this is my climbing hold actor, and it's pointing this way. And my character could be pointing this way, this way, this way, or any of the in-between. Let's put this as A, B, and C. And so, when we ask, hey, when I connect, how much do I need to rotate to ensure that I'm facing the screen? I could do I could do 2 things, couldn't I? I could say, well, I just need to rotate by whatever I was facing. So whatever I was facing, let me copy this and I'll use this as a kind of stamper so I can keep trying things. Right, so starting over here, we could say if I was at C, then I must have to travel 90 degrees to get to this point. So let's call that theta. And then what that means is that I need to compare this to, so I need to know what the angle of this thing is, right? So let's go figure out what the angle of this one is. Let's call that um, theta h for climbing hold. And this one's called theta c, well, theta c, c, ch for, you know, from C to, let's do that, ch. Or, I know this is probably isn't that helpful, but maybe I will do, we'll call this something, we'll call this h, is the vector, right? So these are all vectors. Let me go and fill this in. Wish I could have more um, pickers to choose from. Like just I don't know why they limit us to 4. It's a bit annoying actually. Um, yeah, here we go. So let me get there. I'm just going to put like a kind of line through this so we know where the wall was. And I'm going to say that there is a theta that we need to figure out here. And in fact, I think this is a good one to actually copy before I mark this one up. And let me just erase this. Okay, cool. Let's do that then. So I want to know what the angle is of this thing. And I suppose in a way I can probably get that from the forward actor of the climbing hold. But of course it's in axis rotation, so let's be grown up about this and not want degrees, but so it's -1 and 0 for x and z. So x is -1. Let's put a little table here. And z was 0. And then y was 1.2. 1.22. Okay, and the character forward vector is -2.2, -1 and 0. And this is going to be the holds, and this is the character. So let me now visualize this in coordinate space, if I go down here and just kind of plug in something like this, and let's imagine that the x1 is this, and this is the y1, and let me just also check that. I'll let this continue for a second. If I come out of this, yeah, y is positive that way. Ah, now x is negative that way, so this is actually x positive. Okay. And so our position here is -1 for the hold, or the forward vector is -1, but it's not a rotation. It's not a rotation vector. So let me put this in here. It's saying that x is that behind the wall. Um, it's y is that, which is over here somewhere, and its z is irrelevant in this case. Well, is the z irrelevant? The z is irrelevant because I will always be reaching rather than rotating, so I think it's irrelevant in this case. So this is really interesting, isn't it? Because if the forward vector is actually those 2 points, then what does that mean for the actual direction? It means that what is it actually saying to me? With regards to what, I suppose? Let me just see this again. It says actor forward vector. Actor's forward vector. It means that it's here, but where is it pointing? It's pointing from 0 to there, so it's doing this, which can't be right. So I'm missing something. So let's just look at this again. The hold is -1, so it's over here, 1.22, which is over, about like here, let's say. That can't be the forward vector. So then it makes me think, let me try and draw the forward vector, right? So I think we clearly are doing that already, because there seems to be these arrows coming out. So let's go and have a look at that drawing. Also, I'll do a blood test. I'm feeling a little bit strange. What we got? 9.1 going up high. Let me do a little counteracting injection. Oh, it's fun to be diabetic, that's for sure. .1, I've done two units of insulin for that. because I've woken up, so I'm still releasing kind of liver glucose. I've had a coffee which will spike my sugar slightly. Um, there's no sugar in it. It's just that's how the caffeine molecule works. I've been told. Yeah, and I had 3 lows at night. My alarms didn't work. Um, Shame really. Okay, cool. Right, yeah. So we're trying to look for some code that draws the debug holds forward vector. Now I see. Let me. There is a climbing hold actor, and it's draw debug from hold to actor to hold to character. So I don't think I need that. Draw debug from climbing hold to other close climbing hold. Don't want that. What about the system itself? So 275, we'll bookmark that. Let's just bookmark that. Or if I can remember how. Do I do that? I don't remember how to bookmark. Is it KK? It's KK, okay. So let's collapse this up. Draw debug for climbing hold actor. Ah. Draw debug from, oh, from. And then draw debug for reaching direction. Um, that's interesting. So maybe it's I can't find it. So maybe it's part of the blueprint, right? Let's go here. So this is the blueprint distal climb and hold actor, okay. Ah, there is an arrow. Aha. There is an arrow. So where's the black thing from then? Let's look for the word black. I struggle to see where that would come from. We'll search inside our current project. Find all. There's no black. Am I maybe search for like match case and stuff? No. I wonder what it thinks the current project is. Let's let's go to here and then let's go to maybe the source. Um, that looks, yeah, and let's come out of plugins as well, I think. Well, if that's okay. Yeah, okay, so that's not it. To be absolutely sure, I suppose let's look for green. I want to see if I can actually search for anything here. Ah, here we go. That's the problem. So let's just do all. Here we go. Okay, that's better. So if I go look for F color, black, and then finally we'll try F color, and we'll search back on the current project. Greens, blues, purples, yellows. Okay. Maybe I'm drawing. Ah, yes, I'm drawing it in the I am drawing it in here. Okay. So get forward debug, get forward vector, and then I'm getting the world location, and I'm multiplying the forward vector by the world location, and then I'm adding. for the world location. So why would I be doing that? It seems to be right, just don't know. Maybe I just meant to multiply it by... So the line starts from the world location of this actor. Okay, that makes sense. I've got a forward vector, so I need to just add the forward vector onto the world location. I think that sounds more reasonable. I don't know what that's for. So let's just take this out and try and debug this a little bit. I think that sounds more reasonable. How are we looking now? Okay, so it's probably 0 at the moment, right? Because we're just adding a forward vector, but or maybe it's just 1, right? So then we need to multiply it by a value. So the forward vector multiplied by some arbitrary value, I think. Yeah, let's do it by, I don't know, 50. And then we're going to add that on. And I guess that's why that was working before. Yes, okay, that makes sense to me. Good. So that's right. So the difference here is that we have not added the world position. So that is a good bit of debugging, and let's do that. Now, although what is still confusing me is, yes, okay, so this makes sense because it does make sense because let me just squeeze this over here. This purple dot, I mean, let's find 0, 0, 0, right? So if I were to put a marker for 0, 0, 0, let me put that as a marker. Let's see, marker, nope. No, sphere, maybe, yeah. So plot one of these in there and put that as 0, 0, 0. Let's do some text as well, so I don't forget next time where it's bloody there. Let's do that. Let's go to my outliner. Let's ensure that that's plugged under the sphere. And so now this is rotating relative to the sphere, right? I'll make sure that it's centered, and we'll say origin. Okay. So now I think we're starting to get the idea of this because we attach to this one over here, this one on the left. Now let's imagine this again. So that's our point of origin there, is 0, 0. Now it's over here, so we've pulled it backwards into the negative, and we've placed. Let's put this as a color. Let's do this as a red. So this here is placed back here, right? And it's flipped though, because this is saying that coordinate. So somehow this has been flipped, and I think, let's see, why is pulling it back that way setting its forward vector to the opposite. Let's imagine we've moved it back and its forward vector is actually this way. And so I wonder if, because it's like, where, what is my vector will be on its own. If I were to have to move, ah, damn it, I need to go to the toilet. I'll have to stop this and restart it, and I'll do a little 11.1. I'll speak to you in a second.